Hi lovelies! So I got a very exciting and very generous gift in the post today, and rather than ripping it open immediately I decided to hold off and do a little bit of an unboxing, unveiling kind of video for you guys, because this is actually a gift from a subscriber. This is a tarot deck that I had been kind of thinking about for a long time. It kept kind of popping up and I kept seeing the imagery and thinking, wow, it's just really, really beautiful. But I could see that it was very polarizing, and some people, or a lot of people, were saying that yes, it's very beautiful, but they found it very difficult to work with. And basically I was kind of trying to figure out if it would be something that I would be able to work with or not. I felt very positive about it, I felt like I would, but I just posted about it on Facebook because I was curious to hear about other people's reactions to it. And a very lovely follower on Facebook commented and said that she actually owned a copy of the deck that she was looking to gift to somebody else, because it wasn't a deck that she was able to kind of get on board with. It just wasn't quite working for her. It didn't, you know, she didn't quite click with it. And she said that she would really like to send it to me. So I'm really, really grateful. Thank you very, very much for this wonderful deck. I have a very good feeling about it, but of course I haven't even opened it yet. I've just been going through, I'm going to open it now, I've just been going through a phase of really stepping up my tarot study and getting really excited about tarot again. I think I've mentioned in quite a few of my kind of tarot videos that I go through kind of phases of tarot taking more of a backseat in my spiritual practice and just generally in my life and with my study and that kind of thing. And then sometimes I will just go through a phase of a few months maybe where it becomes really central. It becomes something that I really focus on for, you know, quite a while. That's when I will kind of buy new decks and really think about changing up maybe the offerings that I have on Etsy and things like that. And you know, each time I go through a phase like that, I feel like my relationship with tarot kind of steps up to a new level. So I'm always really excited when that happens, and like I say, I do like to kind of get a new deck every time I'm kind of feeling that way. And I think the last major kind of tarot excitement that I had going on was when I got the Wild Unknown. There might have been another one in between when I didn't actually purchase a new deck. But yeah, I feel like I'm still looking for that one perfect deck as well. I don't know if this is something that like all tarot readers just will experience perpetually throughout, you know, your tarot life, and that it's kind of impossible maybe to find the perfect tarot deck, because there's always going to be something about it that, I don't know, maybe it's always going to be more suited to certain types of days and certain kind of readings, and it's just going to maybe fit your mood sometimes and not at other times. But for a long time the Shadowscapes worked very well for me, but I feel like I've just changed so much in the last couple of years that the Shadowscapes has felt more and more kind of whimsical and fey to me, in a way that makes me feel slightly alienated from it and from its energy. I still love it and I use it every day, but it's just not really me, you know, it's not fully me. It's something that I really enjoy, but it's just not, it's not my deck, if you know what I mean. And I think it was more so my deck at the time that I purchased it, which is quite a long time ago now. Years ago now, I don't remember how many years. So exciting. I feel like it's my birthday or Christmas or something. Oh, there's more wrapping underneath. It's so pretty. Oh, look at that. It's such pretty paper. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this carefully actually. Oh wow. Okay, there's stuff going on here that I wasn't expecting, which is really nice. But I'll just show you this and then I'll probably open them off camera. But look, it's so beautiful. Okay, I'm going to be really good and I'm going to wait to open this. I'm going to open the little note first. But, oh, even the box. I mean, I knew it was big and beautiful, but I wasn't expecting it to be quite so big and hefty and beautiful. It's wow. That's gorgeous. Oh, it's lovely. Little postcard. It's gorgeous. I'm not mentioning her name purely because I haven't, you know, gotten her permission. I haven't actually asked her yet. I'm sure she wouldn't have a problem with me telling you who she is, but I will ask her before I post this video, and I'll say who it is if she's happy for me to say it, because she does have a YouTube channel. Ooh, oh no, I dropped something. You missed me dropping a little crystal and also killing a massive spider. That was fun. But she also, look at this, she sent a little bag for the deck. That is gorgeous. Thank you so much. And I gather that she makes these herself, in fact. And I really want to post a link to you know, all her stuff. So I will definitely make sure that I can do that before I post this video. But it's gorgeous. Little tarot bag for my deck. It's so pretty. Thank you. So the deck itself, this is happening. Oh wow, she's even still got the plastic little thingy. I don't really tend to cleanse decks like new decks, but I might do some sort of cleansing with this purely because it's been in the possession of another person. Now if I didn't know who had owned it, I probably would be more kind of vigorous about wanting to kind of cleanse it and make sure that I feel like it doesn't have the energy of somebody else on it. And because I know who's owned it, I'm like not so concerned about that, because I don't feel like there's going to be any negative vibes or, you know, anything like that. But I am a bit funny about secondhand things, that I just always feel a bit funny about them until they've been in my possession for a while. And I know some people really like that. Oh sorry, I'm just, okay. Oh, these are way too beautiful to be nattering on about whatever it was I was talking about. Wow, look at these. Look at these. Okay, I'm gonna do an off camera thing and show you these on the table or something, because my camera doesn't kind of focus automatically, so it's going to be hard to actually show you these properly. That's the moon. Justice. I mean, I've seen these images online, but when you see them in person, the deck is huge. Like, the cardstock must be, well, it is. The cardstock is amazing. They're quite plasticky and they're quite glossy, but I don't feel like that. It's not, doesn't really affect, they're not too shiny, like you can still really see the images. It doesn't affect the vibrancy of the colours or anything. Wow, they're so beautiful. But actually some of these, a lot of these I haven't seen before. The Seven of Discs, I haven't seen an image of anywhere, you know, because I did kind of go looking at it a bit online when I knew that she was going to be sending this. We had a bit of a debacle with her sending it. We had a bit of a problem with the post office on her end. So it did take a little while to get here, but I kind of didn't want to go and look at all the images of all the cards because I knew that it was coming and I wanted it to be sort of a surprise. So I've seen a lot of the images, like I've seen the Magician. I've seen a lot of the major arcana probably. The High Priestess. I like that it's kind of mixed up because, you know, it's actually been used. Nine of Wands. It's gorgeous. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to go through all the cards like this because for all I know you're not actually able to see anything that I'm showing you right now, but I just wanted to record my response to these images. I have a really good feeling about this deck. Really, really good feeling about it. It's so different to anything else that I own, because I don't actually own that many tarot decks. I think I'm going to do a deck collection video soon, because I have massively expanded my deck collection in the last couple of months. And when I say massively, I mean I've doubled it, but it was tiny to begin with. So I think I will actually do a video and just talk about them. It is an unusual deck, I think. The colours are just so vibrant. Like the printing, it's just been so well made. So well made. And you know, looking at these images, it really makes me wish that Shadowscapes had been printed, you know, more like this. And I know any of you who own the Shadowscapes deck will probably be nodding in agreement that it's just very frustrating that the images are so beautiful and yet you just don't really get the full impact of them. Like, not only are they so tiny, but I don't know, the reproduction, it just isn't that vibrant, I think. This is a deck that I won't be reading with for others for a long time. I think it's going to be, you know, I mightn't even ever read with it for others if it does become that sort of my deck kind of thing that I was talking about. and I really feel that it will, until the day when I create my own tarot deck, which you know, it's in the plan, it's in the big plan, but you know, obviously it'll take a very long time, but up until that point yeah, I like the idea of having a deck that I only read with for myself, and that I have a very kind of deep kind of, oh, the Tower. I haven't actually seen this image before, and the Tower is a really, really important one for me. The Tower and Death actually are two really important cards for me, and the High Priestess, of course, but I think the Tower and Death are probably more important to me. Like those are the cards that, if I don't like them in a deck, that it will actually put me off the deck completely. The Hangman as well. Gosh, I have very oh, Death. Yeah, I did know this card, because I love it so much. That would kind of, like, the Death card is make or break for me, pretty much. And it is actually my birth card, even though I don't particularly buy into that having any particular meaning. Oh, the World. So beautiful. I love this card. They're so much prettier in person. Just so much prettier. I'm just kind of struggling to put them back into a neat pile again, and thinking that they're so much more, the cardstock is so much more like an oracle deck than a tarot deck, which I really love. They're going to be very hard to shuffle. Luckily I have large hands for a woman, but I mean, I can only barely, I shuffle overhand, and I can only barely kind of grab them like that. So shuffling is going to be interesting, which is one thing that might irritate me a little bit, but I think it's worth it to have the cards just be so large and just so vibrant. And I don't know, I don't have problems with borders, as long as I feel like the right border has been chosen for the cards, if you know what I mean. And I feel like these black borders, they almost make the deck, to be honest. They just, oh, I love it. I love those glossy dark borders. Oh, the Nine of Swords. Haven't seen that one before. It's amazing. So this is something that I've gathered before about this deck, and that I'm really seeing even more now that I'm seeing a lot of the minors here. It's not Rider-Waite imagery. It's she's very much done her own thing with it, and it's going to be really interesting to read the book, and that's what I was kind of aiming to do here, but I got kind of distracted, is to take out the guidebook. And the guidebook really is, it's fairly hefty, alright, and you get, ooh, oh, thought I heard a raven, but it was just like a saw or something. Yeah, there's two ravens that go over our house. Not that regularly, like maybe every couple of weeks they go through a phase, and I always get very excited when they do. So yeah, the guidebook looks really good. It varies a fair bit on how much it gives you per card, I think. But it looks like there's a fair amount of information in here, which is good, because I feel like it's definitely going to need a lot of work with the actual guidebook to really get a handle on the symbolism and what her thoughts were about the symbolism. And I'll be really interested to see what kind of approach she's taken, where she's kind of, what her starting point has been with the deck, if she's been following, yeah, if she has been following the kind of Rider-Waite kind. So strength is 11 and justice is 8, which doesn't surprise me, because like I say, I get the impression that this is just not a Rider-Waite based deck, and like I say, it will be very interesting to see what kind of approach she has taken with her numerology and the symbolism and that kind of thing. I've been becoming very curious about decks that don't follow the Rider-Waite system, and also or that don't even follow the Thoth system either. Very interested in decks that are maybe taking an approach that isn't kind of Golden Dawn based, and like I say, I didn't actually read up a whole lot about this deck before it arrived, because I wanted to just wait until it arrived and then, you know, learn, kind of explore it then. But I'd be interested to see what kind of approach she has actually taken with this. I have been thinking that I really love the box, and then I might actually just keep the cards in the box, but actually having put the cards into it and taken them out again, it's really annoying. It's really hard to kind of get your fingers in there and get them out. So yeah, it's definitely not going to be a box where I can actually store the cards very easily. I can see why she hung on to this if she was storing it in the box. So yeah, I don't think that's going to be happening. That glare that you're seeing on the camera, it's not actually as bad in real life, but I had a suspicion that that was probably happening. So that's why I'm going to show you the cards this way. I won't go through the whole deck, but because they're in a random order, the moon and the sun, if you're not familiar with this deck, I might try and find the sun because they sit back to back. Yeah, I'll try and find that card and show you that. 4 of discs. So yeah, like I say with the minors, I'm really not seeing not a whole lot of relation with many of the kind of Rider-Waite based interpretations and symbolism. I'm sure that once I start looking at them, I will start, looking at them more, that I'll start to see connections. But right off the bat, they're really, extremely different. She's really pushed the boat out in terms of the kind of approach. That's an amazing card. So beautiful. The Chaos Star at the top. The court cards are particularly fascinating, I think. They're very different. There is nudity in this deck, but that's something that I find... I don't know if this sounds a bit strange, but I think American culture is a lot more hung up on that kind of stuff than we are in Europe. And that's, Europe, that's not that we're a cohesive whole here in Europe whatsoever. But on the continent, I think, in some countries on the continent anyway, they're even more relaxed about stuff like that. England maybe less so, but over here in Ireland we're a bit more like some of the cultures on the continent. And yeah, I don't know, like full frontal nudity is just like, it's not a big deal. Especially if it's not in a sexual context. It's just sort of like, yeah, that's the human body. But it just seems to be quite a cultural difference that in the States, I'll notice people, when they're kind of reviewing a deck or showing deck images, they'll kind of say, oh, there is actually nudity in this deck, and I'll be kind of thinking, is there? And there's, there's very, very little. So I find that interesting. Just as a... Oh, such a beautiful card. I'm familiar with that one too. Now this one's that one I haven't seen before. They're so different. I'm so fascinated to see what the story is with these cards, and to just figure out what her interpretation has been of the minors, because they're so different. Some of them I can see glimpses of the meanings that I'm familiar with, but others are just, fascinating. Like, what is this? I've no idea yet. But I can already... It's not the kind of... And honestly, I have this sometimes with the Wild Unknown. And I actually... With the Wild Unknown, I have... I think I've struggled a little bit more than I think I will with this deck to actually get a handle on the choices that have been made for some of the cards and the symbolism and stuff like that. I can't get away from the thought sometimes that it's a little bit arbitrary, or that it's a little bit obtuse. And because the symbols are so, the images are so simple in the Wild Unknown, but in a deck like this, there's so much wealth of symbolism that I immediately feel like, even though my first impression of a lot of the cards is just a sort of emotion or feeling, in a very abstract kind of way, rather than having any kind of clear concept of what's being suggested by the card, I feel really confident that I'm not going to have any, once I actually sit down and start journaling with these cards, that everything is going to kind of start falling into place, if you know what I mean, and that they are actually going to be very, very, very interesting to work with. There's just so much in them. I'm hoping that this is the case anyway, and that they don't kind of remain so... I don't know. Obtuse, again, I suppose, might be the word, that they're just so intricate and complicated, really complex, but there's something about them that I feel really taps into the unconscious. There's, a lot of archetypes and, yeah, just a lot of weird unconscious material, I think. in these cards, and yeah, very good feeling about them. Okay, so I've gone through about half the deck and I think I'll leave it there. Oh, I said I was going to try and find the sun. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, as you can see, the moon and the sun sort of sit back to back. So if you lay them out in order, you get this sort of almost like an image with the two of them combined, which I don't think appears anywhere else in the deck, but that's really wonderful. I really like that. I'm interested in the odd kind of landscape that we get like this, like the Four of Discs, I think, was more in this kind of style. Oh, maybe it's the fours, that's just dawned on me. Because this is the kind of fun that I'm going to have with this deck for, probably I'm going to end up spending most of today working with this deck, to be honest, once I've done the other things that need to be done. But yeah, that's the kind of thing that interests me. Like, it's so different to the rest of the imagery, and I'm kind of like looking at it going, why? There must be a reason. I'm excited to find out what the reason is. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for the moment. I'm definitely going to do a full review of this deck at some point, but for obvious reasons it's going to take me a while to get to grips with the deck and, you know, come up with what my feelings are on it. Like, I want to be very familiar with it and very comfortable with its imagery before I go doing a full review. But yeah, thank you so much again for this deck. This has just been an amazing gift, and I think I'm going to treasure it all the more because it was a gift, because it came to me in such a lovely way. I always find that, you know, you treasure things more, I think, rather than if you just buy something yourself on a whim. And yeah, this is just going to be, I have a very good feeling about this deck, that it's going to be really a wonderful deck for me to be using as I kind of move forward in my journey with tarot. I feel like I'm kind of reaching some sort of transitional stage with it. Ah, I was right. Another 4. I see. That's interesting. I'm going to have so much fun with this. Yeah, okay. I'll leave it there, guys. And yeah, I'm going to be making a few more tarot videos soon. I'm going to do a deck collection video, I think. Okay, I'll leave it there. Take care, guys. I hope you're all well.